Hello and welcome to this edition of the Time with Hime podcast. I'm your host, Lynn Cordes, joined by our superintendent, Mr. Hime. Happy Valentine's Day.
Yes, podcast number 67 is what they're saying.
There. Yay.
If our guys can count, I haven't counted them, so somebody has a different number. I didn't count them.
We're pretty close to 67, and I can't believe how far we've come. And we're into February, in the middle of it, and lots of things going on.
Well, first of all, we started this podcast as a COVID update because of all the things that seemed in the news changed every day. So let's give a quick update there. Our testing centers are moving, but the numbers are dropping again. And, we're going to knock on wood because hopefully another variant doesn't come flying through. But this last one, boy, it came through hard and hit us hard, but it's kind of dropped off. So we're getting close to being back to normal with spring coming and all the basketball tournaments, regionals, and hopefully some state tournaments. Hopefully we get closer to normal as we move into our spring activities.
Exactly, and that means our testing schedule for the COVID will change, and we're going to put that out on our social media. I think it's more just a reduction in the time versus the days that we're testing.
Yeah, I think we're going to try to have more varied locations. You just won't have as much time at each location. So that's something we're looking at is trying to make it more accessible to those who want to take advantage of it, but we won't have as much time because we don't want our nurses setting. There's our nurses do a lot more than COVID test. I mean, they have full-time jobs and a lot of student things we take care of. And so we want them back at their regular jobs so they can do those.
And we're glad to see those numbers come down.
Oh, awesome.
We've been looking forward to that. Now, we have some other things that happened last week that we want to celebrate. One of those you joined us for was the AIM.
That was interesting because, last year we didn't do it, and I heard everybody talk about AIM. What is AIM? And then I had a schedule conflict in the fall whenever y'all had the first meeting with AIM, and I still didn't really, and I showed up. I was so impressed. The one thing when you're new to a school is sometimes people think, well, all you see is the bad things or all you want to do is change. Hey, it is so exciting, and it happens all the time, but this is another one of those cases where I saw something awesome that Lawton Public Schools does. Mr. Mattingly, shout out to him. Mark Mattingly, he does a great job with that. One of our counselors, Miss
Lewis.
Devin Lewis, right?
Yes.
She does a great job with it. I mean, and then there were numerous other adults present, a lot of mentors throughout the community. The students were impressed. I was just so overly impressed with that whole production and what it's doing for kids. Again, I talk all the time about creating opportunities. And once again, something Lawton was doing that was creating opportunities that we got to do a better job of selling and making sure people understand some of the great things our wonderful people are doing.
And we'll have more information out there on our YouTube channel to share what we did in the highlight video, so be on the lookout for that. This week, we have some things going on. The PTA, Mental Health Forum, and the Reflections Awards are happening tomorrow night.
Yes, that'd be Tuesday night, the PTA Mental Health Forum. We'll have some people there talking about our Project Aware grant. We may bring somebody on as a guest to kind of let everybody knows what they're doing. We have a social counseling grant that's also out there that we're working to help with SEL or mental health. And then the PTA is going to have various booths. Hope Rising, that's with our police officers, chief, and his team. So I know a lot of our things, and there will be some community partners there as well. So if you can, join that meeting on a Tuesday night.
And we get to celebrate our students and their recent achievements in the PTA reflection as well tomorrow night. Also this week and next week is parent-teacher conferences. Explain the difference again that we have the different days.
The one thing we started doing with parent-teacher conference is because, again, it's creating opportunities and creating flexibility for our parents. We want to give our parents as many opportunities as they can to attend because we know one of the most important goals of the school is to create a partnership between the school and the parent, the teacher and the parent, in order to educate the child. And we know that's what works. Research is just overwhelming that when the teacher and the parent, the school and the parent work together, it's great for a child's education. So we want to be flexible. So we have parent-teacher conferences at different times. So if you have students in 3 schools, you're not picking and choosing. They should vary. So make sure you look at your particular school's parent time. Get one schedule. Go talk to your teacher. And our teachers, we want that communication because that's a very important piece in education.
And when we come back from, and I'm just thinking about the communication aspect, of the parent-teacher conferences, we also have some where we want to talk to our parents about social media and then just reaching out to the schools. Do you want to share a little bit more about that?
Well, one thing we get into in just like bad weather. Are we having school or not? Well, if we're going to do what we always do, we don't report it. We try not to. Rumors get circulated. We try not to report rumors. We've tried not to give credence to a rumor. So sometimes things will be on social media, and our people spend hours investigating those things. If there's no credence to them or no evidence that they happen, we're not going to report all those. So as a parent, if you hear a rumor and we haven't reported and it still concerns you, feel free. We have our info at lawtonps.org. We have our webpage. You can obviously call up and talk to the chief. You can talk to different people in our offices if you're concerned about those rumors. But in 2022, with so many types of social media, there's a lot of stories get out there on a regular basis. I shout out to Lynn and her team, to Chief, our directors. It would be amazing. There's not hardly a night goes by that somebody doesn't say, hey, this is what we're following. This is what we're following. Then we got to decide, do we put something out? Do we communicate, or do we follow it through? And so those are the things that happen all the time, and our people do a great job of tracing those down and trying to separate rumors from facts or possibilities before we communicate it to you as a parent, to the community. I have to do the same thing. I have a board of directors. My board is responsible for me, and they want to know, and so I have to pick. So when it comes to that level that I need to communicate it to them, it also comes to the level where it's communicated to our parents. So it's kind of hard to weed through, but understand we see and hear those rumors, but if you're not sure, let us know, and we'll tell you, hey, we've investigated that. We don't see anything there, or that rumor is not quite correct in the story itself. So we'll do our best to sort through those, but we do want to hear from you. Your opinion matters, and when you're concerned, help us to relieve those concerns, so get with us.
And the other thing is just a celebration of the communication that we continue to have with our parents, because, that's PTA is a big part of it. We have PTA, we have PTO, so it's a two-way street, and we welcome all of that.
If you as a parent aren't getting those regular communications on your phone or in your email or both, make sure you check with your school and make sure they have the proper email address and proper phone number. With 14,000 students, some of those aren't correct. We work through this podcast for communication. Anybody that's in meetings with me, I have executive leadership meetings, I have leadership meetings, and almost every one of my I start off with, how can we make our communication better? How do we get better at communication? Because we know that, again, it circles all the way back. We want you as a parent to be a full partner. We want our community to be partners. We want to work together, and none of that works if we're not communicating and we're not sharing thoughts and ideas, and we're not also sharing things we see as issues that need to be corrected.
Absolutely, sir. Now, let's talk about some celebrations and recognitions as we head into the week. We're in the middle of February, and before we know it, spring break will be here.
Well, it's Valentine's Day today.
It is Valentine's Day.
Yes, we're there already. So basketball playoffs are coming up. I know MacArthur girls are hosting regionals, which means they were one of the top seeds. Very excited about that. We're going to cheer on and support the rest of our basketball teams as they go into regionals. And
then let's give an update, too, about the water line break as far as, MacArthur.
MacArthur, hey, shout out to the staff over there. We gave 2 days for them to reorganize and take a whole wing out, first and second floor, and how they're going to reorganize their school and make it work and have regular school again face-to-face, because no way did we want to be virtual for an extended period of time. Now, if you went in there and looked, there's a lot of demo going on in that area. We're going to hope to have that back and ready to go. We're looking at July before we have that ready to go again. So that part will be out of commission, but we've built up partitions and so forth. Other thing we're celebrating that should be going on school-wide is Black History Month. It is we give a shout-out to our teachers. I've seen some great things on Facebook and different activities to celebrate Black History Month. Our school does a really good job with that. We have a great diversity team led by Dr. Deloach. She has committees, and we try to make that work. In 2022, for some reason, that's become an issue. We work really hard to make sure we teach our students history as history happened, and we try to make them critical thinkers of how history happened.
Yes, sir. Is there anything else you want to celebrate, something we should look forward to?
Well, first of all, Friday.
Oh, yes, we can't forget about that.
Friday is a virtual day, and we've had these conversations again. A virtual day means all the employees will be at work. Your students will be at home, but they'll log on and do their work hour by hour or class by class with their class and their teacher. It's not a remote day. A remote day is when it's student-paced, everybody's at home. This is a virtual day, so you should be in contact with your teacher or teachers throughout the day.
Now, we are off on Monday as well, but that's just a day off in...
That's a holiday. And
yes, observance of President's Day.
Yes, that's President's Day. We take off that day.
Mr. Hime, give them our email account and...
Once again, info@lawtonps.org if you got questions, concerns, ideas for special guests. We're talking about bringing on somebody with Project Aware, bringing on one of our AIM students so they can tell you more about it. We've had, it's bad, but when we have students on a lot more.
I love the students.
A lot more people want to see them than me, but we love to have guests. So if you have ideas or questions you want to know. Also, lawtonps.org is our website. Go on there, look around. If you don't find what you want, let us know. We'll try to... We look at our webpage as you don't have to be bad to get better. Again, it's a communication piece that we're always trying to get better at.
And be sure to like us on our social media and YouTube pages. We share a lot there from the schools, and we want
hashtag Lawton PS, hashtag we are LPS. So we have a couple of hashtags there that you follow if you follow us on Twitter.
That's right. Mr. Hime, thank you so much for your time. I hope you have some special plans for Mrs. Hime, or you had the weekend too. So.
Yes, that's right. So very
right.
excited, and everybody have a great Valentine's, and see you in a 4-day weekend for the students as far as being away from school, and a 3-day weekend for parents to do some travel. So be safe, and we will do our podcast on Tuesday.
Absolutely. Until then, you guys be well, stay safe, and make positive impacts. Have a good one.